Hello and welcome to Climate Made Simple Money Savers. Aside from climate education, I'm going to offer, from time to time, videos that help you use resources more efficiently around your home and hopefully save you some money that you can use for other things, like investments. It's one thing to learn about big concepts of environmental care, but it's also nice to know ways you can begin helping the environment within your own community. Earth is an enclosed system. All things we put into the atmosphere stay there, almost like a galactic Las Vegas. Pollutants move around, but so does clean air, water, and other things. So every little bit of help does count. Today, we'll look at water use. Now, this topic is something of great concern to states like California or Arizona, and many other desert or dry areas in particular around the world. But even if you have an abundant water supply where you come from, it's always nice to find ways not to squander it. Determining the price of water use, especially in places that don't have a lot of it naturally, isn't simple. Factoring in if you are using hot or cold water, the local supply and demand, and the transportation costs from various sources, to treatment plants, to storage facilities, and finally to your home, can get expensive. And it can be even in shorter supply during events such as droughts. This lack of supply for the high demand, with the increased travel distance from farther sources to satisfy that demand, can drive up the price even more. But we use water for many things: landscaping, agriculture, drinking, washing cars and clothes, washing ourselves, and much more. The more you use, the larger your water bill will be. So obviously, we need to look at some ways to reduce water usage and get the most out of the amount we do use. So here are several suggestions and concerns. Okay, first of all, if you're hitting the gym, doing hard labor, or something else that gets you incredibly dirty and smelly, go take a shower. A shower is much more water efficient than a bath is. But if you've been sitting around most of the day at work, and then at home, or both in present times, chances are you haven't built up much of a sweat. If working in a low physical impact job and having a relaxing evening at home without too much physical exertion, you most likely don't need to take a shower directly afterwards. That may seem like a no-brainer to some people, but studies show as much as 2/3 of people take a shower every day, no matter the reason. I'm sure statistics vary from country to country and region to region, but that's still a lot of water used throughout many households. Try taking one every other day. Just try it for a month, or one billing period, and see if it helps. Now you might be thinking, isn't that unhealthy? Isn't that weird? Well, check this out. According to several health studies and journals, including an article in the Harvard Health blog by Dr. Robert H. Schmerling, showering just a few times a week is actually healthier in most cases than showering every day. It allows your natural oils to protect your skin and lessens exposure to some more corrosive chemicals in body washes and soaps. 3 to 4 times a week is ideal, so don't be afraid of skipping a shower from time to time. Chances are your hygiene won't suffer from it. The shorter the shower, the less water you use. Simple as that. Try to time yourself in the shower. Use music. Use a timer in a plastic bag. Use your cell phone. Whatever it is, see how much time you actually take in the shower. You might be surprised. Some people spend 15 or even 20 minutes in a shower without realizing it. Research states that the average time should be around 7 to 8 minutes, or 10 minutes tops. So after you've timed yourself, see what you can do to cut it down. Maybe skip on the singing, or create a routine for yourself that gets you through the washing faster. But here's a way to save even more water and money. Body wash tends to spread easier once you're all wet. We know this. So, when you've rinsed your body quickly and lather up your shower scrubber, you can simply turn the water off. Scrub yourself with soap, and don't worry, you don't need the water at this point. This action actually helps you finish scrubbing more quickly, because drying soap can get itchy if you take long enough. So, once done and covered with soap, turn the water back on and rinse. You'll be surprised. Although you spent only a few minutes in the shower, you've used water more efficiently without waste. You might even find your water usage is less than the amount of the ideal 7 to 8 minutes. Try it out for a few months in combination with other water-saving techniques, and track your progress. Some people love to take care of lawns and their backyard. They enjoy gardening, and who can blame them? The soil often smells so nice, there are beautiful flowers, and butterflies come to visit. But depending on your plants, you could be watering them a lot and often. This may not always be efficient. Plants, like all living things on Earth, need water to live. But if you are watering them in the middle of the day, in the late morning, or afternoon, chances are a good amount of that water doesn't reach the roots. If it's windy or at the high point of the day, you could be losing as much as 25% of your water to evaporation. So water early in the morning or late in the evening. Gardens in naturally dry places also would benefit from using more drought-resistant plants. So consider changing your garden's look if you live in one of these places. And some local governments might even pay you to change your garden up. So always be on the lookout, pay attention, and be a responsible gardener. Some foods are very water intensive, meaning it takes a lot of water to grow the crop. So this one may not be a money saver for the average person, but buying less water intensive crops saves more water for the region and frees it up to be used for drinking, hygiene, and other uses, even watering other crops. So it's an indirect money saver. This happens because it'll either help force inefficient farmers to find other, less intensive crops to grow, or develop new ways to not waste as much water on their land. For instance, a majority of the world's almonds are grown in California's Central Valley. But almond trees are extremely water intensive, and farmers are not incentivized to be water efficient. It is actually the opposite. Government subsidies make water cheaper for the farmers, or guarantee the government itself as a buyer for their harvests. So they are actually encouraged to be more wasteful, instead of developing ways to be more prudent with production costs. While that may not have been the intended purpose of the subsidies, these practices encourage farmers to grow as many almond trees as they could manage, using as much water as needed to cultivate each tree to have as many seeds as possible. This is often detrimental once true drought hits. The farmers find themselves overextended, without any developments to cut down production expenditures, and costing taxpayers a fortune to bail out the farms. The farmers are just trying to get by like everyone else, but more efficient water methods need to be encouraged. Bad procedures need to fail, and good procedures need to be supported by consumer choice, not government support. Some farmers are trying to do just that and become more water efficient, which is great. If an almond farm can develop more water efficient methods, and maybe label their products as such, they can probably outcompete their less efficient neighbors. Doing your homework and not buying water-intensive products, especially those backed by taxpayer money, allows the region to have more water for other needs, and makes business more efficient and inventive in the process. This one is pretty simple. A leaky faucet or toilet can often lead to massive water waste and large bills, and sometimes they are barely noticeable. Always check your sink and under it for leaks every month or so. Take some food coloring and drop it into the toilet tank and let it sit for 20 to 30 minutes. If the toilet bowl has turned the color of the food dye, you might need to replace the flapper, which prevents water from seeping into the bowl. Also, check under the house, if you are able, to see if there are any leaks. If you find water where it isn't supposed to be, have a plumber check it out ASAP. It's that simple. Some may say, water is cheap. I don't need to care about how much I use. Okay, sure, it may not be a huge difference to your wallet, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't conserve. Water helps the surrounding habitats, and is used for such things as drinking, farming, and recreation. Conserving your use means you're helping those alternative uses to last longer. No resource is infinite, and conserving water, using various techniques at home, can lessen the cost of your overall utilities and save you extra money every month and every year. It allows someone else to use the water. Making water use efficient is better for you, your bills, communities as a whole, and the environment. I'll be making more videos on how to earn money for yourself with conservation from time to time. Please help the channel grow by subscribing, liking the video, and clicking the bell button to be notified for new updates. And if you want to help the channel grow even more, consider helping out on the Climate Made Simple Patreon page and earn various benefits. Thank you all for watching. I'm Eric, and this is Climate Made Simple.